Ever wondered how effective different birth control methods truly are? If so, you're not alone. Birth control, in its myriad forms, plays a crucial role in preventing unintended pregnancies. It's a topic that's as important as it is misunderstood, especially when it comes to its effectiveness and usage among teenagers. Let's start with some surprising facts. Did you know that teen pregnancy rates are higher in students who receive abstinence-only education compared to those who receive comprehensive sex education? This goes to show that understanding birth control isn't just about knowing what it is, but also about knowing how to use it effectively. Now let's talk a bit about the birds and the bees. A woman is fertile for longer than just the day she ovulates. In fact, an egg will stay fertile in a woman's fallopian tube for 24 hours after ovulation. But that's not all. Sperm can live in the vagina for 3 to 5 days. So, what does this mean for couples using periodic abstinence as a form of birth control? Well, they must avoid having sex for the 5 days before the woman ovulates, the day of ovulation and 3 days after. That's quite a window of time and requires careful tracking and discipline. And here's something else to consider. The effectiveness of birth control methods can vary greatly. For instance, withdrawal, or when a man removes his penis from a woman's vagina before he ejaculates, is effective only 73% of the time. That's a lot of room for error, so what's the takeaway here? Well, understanding the basics of birth control, from the fertile window to the effectiveness of different methods, is key to preventing unintended pregnancies. And it's not just about knowing these facts, but about applying them effectively and responsibly. Understanding these basics sets the foundation for exploring different birth control methods. And that's exactly what we'll be doing in the next few scenes. So stay tuned as we dive deeper into this important topic. Let's delve into some unconventional methods, withdrawal and douching. The withdrawal method, also known as pulling out, is when a man removes his penis from a woman's vagina before he ejaculates. This method is only effective about 73% of the time, according to Planned Parenthood. It's not a recommended method of birth control, and some medical professionals don't even consider it a form of birth control. It's ineffective for several reasons, including the difficulty of withdrawal at the height of excitement, unexpected fast ejaculation, especially in younger or less experienced men, and the possibility of residual sperm from previous ejaculations. Now let's talk about douching. Contrary to some beliefs, washing out the vagina does not prevent pregnancy. Given the speed of sperm, there's no guarantee that washing with soap or a douche will stop the sperm from fertilizing an egg. In fact, any additional liquid may actually help push the sperm farther inside and reach the egg. Now that we've debunked these methods, let's move on to more reliable forms of birth control. Intrauterine devices, or IUDs, are gaining popularity worldwide. In the United States alone, the use of IUDs tripled between 2002 and 2011, making up 10% of all birth control methods. But this trend isn't limited to the States. Across the globe, we're seeing a significant rise in IUD usage. In developing countries, about 17% of women of childbearing age are using IUDs. Even in developed countries, the percentage is not far behind, with 9% of women opting for this method of birth control. This totals up to an impressive 180 million women worldwide. These numbers are a testament to the growing trust and reliance on this birth control method. It's clear that IUDs are not just a fleeting trend, but a recognized and valued form of contraception. With this rising trend, IUDs are becoming a significant player in the birth control arena. The pill and sterilization, the two most popular forms of birth control in the US. Let's dive into the colorful history of the birth control pill first. This revolution in contraception was initially approved in 1957, not for birth control, but for treating severe menstrual problems. Interestingly, preventing pregnancy was considered a side effect. In just 2 short years, 500,000 women were using the pill for this beneficial side effect. The pill works by tricking the body with hormones. Most types of birth control pills are combination pills, containing 2 hormones, estrogen and progestin. These hormones mimic pregnancy, preventing the ovaries from releasing new eggs each month. Then, there's the progestin-only pill, often called the mini pill. This works a little differently by thickening cervical mucus and thinning the uterine lining. It can also affect ovulation. Considered less effective than the combination pill, it still offers a contraceptive option for those who may not tolerate the combination pill well. Fast forward to the 60s, and the FDA approved the first version of the pill for contraceptive use on June 23, 1960. Now, let's talk about sterilization. Though not as widely discussed, it's one of the most prevalent forms of birth control in the US, close behind the pill. Sterilization is a permanent form of birth control, often chosen by individuals or couples who are certain they do not want to have children in the future. Despite these effective methods being readily available, about half of all U.S. pregnancies are still unintended. This highlights a significant gap in education and awareness surrounding contraception. Remember, the effectiveness of birth control is not solely reliant on the method used. It's equally important to understand how to use these methods correctly and to be aware of the options available. As we can see, the effectiveness of birth control relies not only on the method used, but also on education and awareness. Let's recap what we've learned today. We've delved into the intricacies of various birth control methods, from periodic abstinence to withdrawal, from IUDs to the pill, and even sterilization. We've learned that an egg remains fertile for 24 hours after ovulation, and that sperm can live in the vagina for 3 to 5 days. We've seen that withdrawal is effective only 73% of the time, and that the popularity of IUDs has tripled in less than a decade. We've also discovered that around the world, 45% of those who can have children are using birth control. Despite this, half of all U.S. pregnancies are unintended. Highlighting the importance of comprehensive sex education and awareness, we've explored the history of the birth control pill, its effectiveness, and how it works in our bodies. So let's not forget, every method has its pros and cons. Remember, the choice of birth control should be an informed decision. Stay educated, stay safe.